Do you want to go on a little knitting date? I thought it'd be really cute today if we just go have a little picnic outside and take our knitting. Let's just have a chat. Let me pack my bag. This is the outfit. Super casual. Don't mind my carpet, needs a vacuum. Got jeans, my favorite ballet flats. Do you like my new shirt? It's so cute, right? Got this basket bag that I thrifted not too long ago. Oh my god, it's so cute. Grab my picnic blanket and let's go. We could come and sit out here in the park and do some knitting. I'm not gonna lie, I've been feeling really creatively just weird this week. I don't know why. I just thought we could do something chill, just come sit out here and knit and just have a chat with each other, because I love chatting to you guys. And I don't know, usually when I'm in these moods I just won't film, I won't post or do anything, but I do feel like it's sometimes nice to come out here and talk to you guys about how I'm feeling, and especially when my favorite creators talk about when they're struggling creatively or whatever like that. I always feel really comforted and I'm not alone, and it's nice to feel like you're not alone and you're not the only one that feels this way. And so if I can be that for someone, then that's obviously really great. Not that I want anyone to be feeling this way, but I mean, that's just life. Things go in ebbs and flows, and right now I'm just in a state of being really creatively, not even creatively uninspired. There's so many things that I want to be doing, but I just haven't had the motivation to do them. I feel like life has just gone really busy, or I don't know, there's things that I've been stressed about that have just dampened my creativity a little bit. But I'm trying to just be kind to myself. And I don't know, when I was thinking of a video for this week, I was like, oh my god, I need to do a whole knitting project. I need to film a whole vlog, all these things. And I was like, you know what, you can just be kind to yourself and you can just chat. Not every video has to be revolutionary, not that all of mine are anyway, but you can just come and sit and chat and just have a chill, cozy knitting time, because that's all I wanted to do anyway. I just wanted to sit and knit, and I was like, I might as well sit and do that with you guys. And I've taken myself out to the park today. I feel like something that really helps me that I don't do enough is just coming out into nature and just sitting in a park. I feel literally so grounded when I just can sit in a park and just be here. It's definitely something I'm trying to do more. I work from home, and so I literally don't leave the house ever, and sometimes it's really hard to get myself to leave the house. So this is good. I've been wanting to do a kind of knitting podcast for a while. I thought this was a great time to start. I've had a few people ask me if I was going to do a knitting podcast, or just to talk about knitting and stuff, and obviously I love to talk, as you will know from my videos, so I thought this is perfect. Why not? I don't want this to be fully knitting though. Obviously we're going to talk about knitting because duh, we love it, but I want this to just be, I don't know, a space we can talk about anything. You guys can leave me questions or topics that we can talk about, but for today I'm just going to talk and see where we go. Do you like my shirt, by the way? I got this recently. This is from, I think it's called a Trinket Girl store on Etsy. I'll have it linked, but it's so cute. I'm obsessed. Obviously, we need to start with the knitting project. This one might actually be a bit hard to talk to you guys and knit because it's an intarsia project, but this is a little project update on the test knit that I'm doing for Fest Nets. This is the bikini vest. I've gotten, quite a bit done. We're quite a bit through the front part, and this is my first time ever doing intarsia. And it's actually really fun. I think this is the perfect first project for intarsia because it is only doing 2 colors, and I mean the yarn management right now is a lot, as you can see. I really need to untangle that actually, let's do that. But the actual method of intarsia, everything is I'm getting the hang of it and I'm really enjoying it, and I feel like I'd highly recommend this as your first intarsia project if you want to dip your toe into intarsia, because the actual design itself is not too difficult. It's really fun. I'm having a fun time. I am going quite slow because it's knitting flat, and that always makes me go a bit slower than if I was knitting, stockinette in the round. I zoom through that, but that's okay. I'm kind of enjoying having a project that, I don't know, takes me a bit longer, although that is one thing that I struggle with a little bit, is obviously I feel like one part of kind of knitting or like fiber arts influencing that I don't like is the pressure to like knit really fast or like create things really fast. And knitting in itself is a slow hobby, okay? Like these garments take a long time. I mean, one of the whole reasons why I'm into it is I love slow fashion and like just being really mindful about creating and what you're creating and knitting and all that stuff, and what you're gonna wear. I don't know, I feel like this space sometimes makes me feel a bit like I need to be creating so quick, and especially with YouTube, you know, having to have a video out every week, like it makes me think I need to have a, you know, a sweater done in a whole week. And there are times when I think the fastest I've ever knit a sweater is in 2 weeks. And there are times that I can do that, but obviously other times I can't do that, you know, with just the speed I'm going or certain projects or even life, you know, I work as well. So it's just like not possible all the time. We've untangled everything. But I think it is nice to just have a project that is taking me a little bit longer, and that's okay because I'm really enjoying doing this. So this is what I'm going to be knitting on, or trying to knit on whilst I do this. I have to have the chart, actually. Here's the chart. So I'm going to be referring to that. She's pretty cute. Anyway, let me know what you guys are knitting whilst you're watching this. I always love having a knitting podcast or just something like this on whilst I'm knitting at home. So hopefully you're at home doing that too, or out in the park like me, or whatever it may be. Hopefully I can be a little comfort to you, keeping you company while you guys are keeping me company as well. It's been about 8 months since I quit my job, which is so weird to think about. It doesn't even feel like that long. And I've not really talked about it much on here, but I kind of quit my job to pursue other things, to obviously pursue content creation, to pursue my small business and all that stuff. But that's not all I do. I also do video editing, freelance video editing, and also social media management. I work for my family business doing their social media marketing. So there's a bunch of things going on behind the scenes. I know I make it look like I am just knitting all the time, but there's a lot that you don't see of me just literally being on my laptop, and those are really boring times. So, but I had this thought last night of, you know, when I quit my job, I wanted to do it because I was really overwhelmed with everything that I was doing. There was a lot on my plate, and at that time I just wasn't really happy with the job. It was, I don't know, there was a lot of things behind it, but ultimately that was the best decision for me, and it's been so great. There's not been a moment I've regretted it. But this past week, for some reason, I've been feeling very like, I don't know, whenever I have slower weeks, and it doesn't really come around that often, but there are times, you know, it does happen. I sometimes just like, or even when I'm trying to just take a break or have a rest, I think the thing I struggle with is now that I do have all these things, and this is all a choice that I made, was to obviously do all this. I love content creation. I love doing my knitting stuff. And now adding on like knitwear pattern designer. I mean, that term is used very loosely as I only have one pattern out, but you know, I'm working on more patterns, and I'm working on all these things that I chose. I want to work on these things because I love them. But then that means that I work 24/7. Like there's not a second that I'm not working. Even if I'm scrolling on my phone, like through TikTok, I'm like saving all these like video ideas or like content ideas, or I get inspired by all these different things for knitting. Then I go on and like think about what I'm knitting next and all these different things. And again, I love doing it, but there are times when I'm just like, I'm working all the time. Like I forget to take a break because I'm like, well, I don't deserve a break because I'm knitting like I'm just sitting here knitting. Like this is my work. Like this is pretty chill. This is like, you know, why should I have a break? Like this, to a person that's doing a 9-to-5 job, this would be their break, if that makes sense. Like they would take time out of their weekend or whatever to go sit in the park and knit. Whereas like this is my job, and so I don't feel all the time that I need to take a break, but everyone needs a break. Everyone needs, you know, their time to just relax. Oh my God, the ice cream truck. Sorry. I also feel like in these times, the first thing to go is like my physical, like fitness, like exercise, eating healthy. It all goes out the window, and it's just not like a sustainable thing. It's obviously not good for anyone. And then because I have all the time to work on my own stuff, I tend to put some things off a lot, or I'll put other work above like the things that I want to do, because like, oh, I have all the time, I can just keep moving my stuff. Which I think like when I had, the job that I had was a part-time job in an office, and when I had that, like I struggled with balancing everything a lot, which is ultimately why I ended up quitting. But the times that I wasn't in the office, I would spend doing the stuff I wanted to do. Like because I had limited time, I prioritize the stuff that I wanted to do, if that makes sense. Whereas now when I don't have, like I have unlimited time, essentially, there's a lot that I'm like, oh, I don't feel like doing that today, I'll do that next week. You know, like it just, I don't know. I definitely think I am like, you know, a type A person. I can be very self-motivated, and I am definitely good at getting stuff done. But there are definitely times I have, I guess, type B tendencies where it's harder, there's just times where it's harder for me to motivate myself. You know, I can't be on the ball like all the time, and I don't know why I expect myself to, because no one expects that of me, no one expects that of anyone. You know, I don't have any other like creative friends that like live in the same place as me, that's doing this the same time as me, like in the same place. All of my friends are doing obviously the more traditional like job paths, which is amazing for them. Like, but I think like we're all pursuing what we want, but I think sometimes it gets to me that I'm the only one pursuing this kind of avenue, and I feel like the outlier. I feel like I'm doing something I enjoy. Again, I'm sitting and knitting in the park. It doesn't feel like work, and that's a great thing. But then there are times when it's hard to separate that and be like, it makes me feel like I'm not working, which I am. This is just part of my job, you know? Like, I don't know. I think I just get very hard on myself, as does everyone. I know everyone, you know, your own harshest critic, but there are times when, I don't know, I might have a slower day and I just think, you know, but my friends are slaving away in an office, you know, why should I get to, you know, have a little sleep in or whatever? I have a lot of trouble with sleep. I don't know what it is, but I don't know. And I've never been a morning person. It's just never worked out for me. I've tried, okay, I really have tried. And it was something my therapist said where like I don't know why, I always feel like I can only have a productive day if I wake up at like 7 a.m. because I know that's the time that most of my friends wake up, or even earlier sometimes. And so if I'm sleeping in past 8 a.m., I'm like, I've wasted the day, like my day is, you know, I'm just not as productive. But realistically, even if I wake up at 8 a.m., I'll sometimes still work till like 8 p.m. or 10 p.m. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, I don't know why I get so in my head about what time I'm doing things. I think because obviously the traditional working times is like 9 to 5. And so I feel like if I'm not working those times, like I'm just slacker, I'm not working. But realistically, I'm working like even longer hours. Not to say like, oh, look at me, I work so hard. But I just mean like, I should not be so hard on myself about certain times, because no one else is looking at me like that. Like, none of my friends are being like, why are you waking up at 8 a.m? Like, I've been up since 5, you know, like no one has said that to me. So I don't know why I think that about myself. And I'm not looking at my friends being like, oh, look, you worked an 8-hour day, that's normal. I'm working a 10-hour day. You're like, there's no competition. Like, I don't know why I look at myself like that. I don't look at anyone else like that. I don't think anyone looks at me like that. At least no one has said it to my face. So I don't know why I put so much pressure on myself for like the times that I work. So it doesn't even matter. And I remember having a conversation with my therapist about like, oh, I've been really wanting to wake up at 7 a.m. and it's just not working, and I'm feeling really guilty and horrible about myself. And she was kind of like, well, why do you want to wake up at 7 a.m? And I was like, you know what? I don't know. I really don't know. And she was like, well, there you go. If you don't have a good enough reason to do it, you're not going to do it. Like, what is the motivation for you waking up at 7 a.m? Like, you don't have that. Like, she says, she's insane. Okay. She wakes up at 4 a.m. every day, which is crazy. But like, she has that because she loves waking up early. She loves having so much time before she has to go to work and doing all those things. It's her favorite time. So she has that motivation to do that. Whereas I don't really, you know, my commute is not very long. I work from home. So I don't need to have all this time, you know. During my work day, I can take my time to make my matcha or do what I need, and I also love my work. I'm not answering to anyone, I answer to myself, so I can work a little bit slower, or I can work on the couch, or I can do whatever. Like, I don't really, like, I can take the time throughout the day to do the little things that make me feel good, whereas a lot of people need to do all that before they go to work, and so they'll wake up earlier to do all that. Or some might not. Like, it's just, I don't know why I get so in my head about this kind of stuff when it's like everyone lives differently, everyone needs different things. Some people might not even need that. They can just roll out of bed and go to work and they're fine. Or some people might need 5 hours before they go to work. It really doesn't matter. And that like honestly helped me so much, of her just being like, well, why? Like, why do you need to do it? And I was like, oh, I don't know. Like, I just get so insane sometimes about certain things and having to do things a certain way, but I don't have any good reason for it. Like, I've just put this idea in my mind for some reason and I have to do it a certain way, and I get stressed out that I can't do it or it doesn't happen that way, and then it's like, well, why did I want it that way in the first place? I don't have a boss checking up on me that I'm, arriving at work at a certain time, and I love that. Like, this is the lifestyle I chose. I've never been good at having routine. Like, I have my little like morning routines of like, doing some journaling and having matcha, but I've never been good at having a routine of like, okay, you go like on your commute, you catch the train, you drive to work, you sit at an office, you have these lunch times, like you go home at the same time, and then, all that stuff. I've never been good at that. I like having my days be completely different, and I like being able to be in charge of my own schedule. Again, I'm type A, so I can be really, really self-motivated. There are just times when I beat myself up too much and then I'm demotivated, but that's okay. These moments come and go. All feelings are temporary, and these times of demotivation don't happen too often, which is great. I think it's also being in a creative job. I think a lot of my friends are in very like analytical jobs as well. So how they operate and how they work are a lot different to what I do. So I don't know, I think just sometimes I need to just get out of my head. And this is also a sign for you guys to just know that if you are feeling this way, you're not alone. And I know that I embody all the cozy vibes and everything in my vlogs. Just know I'm not actually that chill. I feel like I love all the chill, cozy, like grandma hobbies, but me in myself, I am not a chill person. Like, I am like all over the place. I have so many things I want to do. I just love to live a cozy life, and that's fine. Like, some people need to live the fast-paced life. Some people love, there are so many different types of lifestyles, and that's the beautiful thing about the world. And it's also so amazing to see all different lifestyles, to know that you're not pinpoint into one specific type of life. It's nice to have my friends be all in different types of fields and different types of jobs, and we can all come together and like share all of our experiences, and they're all different. Like, I think it'd be so boring if like everyone was doing the same thing and the same type of work, and I don't know, like maybe that would be nice. I'm just so rambly right now, I don't know, I'm so sorry. But also I'm not sorry, because this is a knitting podcast and I've come here to chat, and I'm sure you clicking on this video meant that you wanted to hear me chat, so thank you for being here. But this is your friendly reminder from me to not be so hard on yourself, to take a step back and realize that life is not so serious. We're all doing what we want to do, or if we're not, then we can all make a change and get on that path, and just know that life will always take us where we need to go, and trust in that. And just like trust that we're doing what we can to get there, because that's all we can do. Trust in ourselves, trust in the universe. All of our hard work will pay off. We're just doing manifestations at this point. Affirmations, I guess. Now that my ramble is done, I did call for some questions from you guys. I thought I could answer those as well. We got a few questions. I'm gonna do the knitting ones first. So it says, do you do knitting / content full time? Can you share how you make your money? Sorry if it's too personal, that's okay. I'd kind of touched on it already, but I technically do these full time, but also not really. I'd say, I guess my biggest income right now is from my freelance work. So I do video editing and I do social media marketing, like I said, for my family's business. I've been doing that for a few years now, and that is amazing. It's been helping me supplement my life and being able to do all these things. I do both of those just working from home as well, which is amazing. So those are my biggest incomes right now. I would love to one day, do my knitting and content creation full time and have those be my biggest incomes, but it is a long, slow journey, at least for me right now. But that would be the goal, is to make money off of YouTube. I mean, I make a little bit of money off of YouTube, definitely not like a livable amount, but it's nice. to have, obviously. So YouTube is definitely my favorite kind of thing that I do. I love making YouTube videos, I always have. I've been doing it for like 10 plus years now, which is crazy. So I think it's something I'll always do, and I just love doing it. So I definitely love if my YouTube could be like my biggest income, because it's just my favorite thing I do. I also do have my small business, Crazy Studios Co, where I sell handmade products and also now my knit patterns. So that has been really great as well. I really love transitioning a little bit into knitting patterns as well. I mean, I say that I have one. I'm working on my second knitting pattern right now, so that's exciting, but I loved doing that. So that's also another, you know, part of income that I'd love to grow and have that be more of a thing once I, you know, get more knitting patterns out. Also, we're doing content creation like on TikTok and Instagram. I get brand deals sometimes, which is really nice. I love working with brands, it's so fun. And I'd love to work with more brands. I think it's hard when I've put myself in this kind of knitting fiber arts niche, because it limits the brands that I can work with. But I also love doing just like lifestyle content, and I love sharing about just things I'm doing in life. And so I'm hoping that can also help with brand deals and getting different types of brand deals and things. I definitely want to grow all those things a bit more. So yeah, technically not full time, but that is definitely the goal. Someone asked, like or Chalgu knitting needles. So I currently am knitting with my Knit Pro mini denim ones. I don't have my knitting needles on me, I'm in the park, but I've never actually tried Chalgu needles. I would like to. They look really nice, but I have a set of Ligay needles, which I love. They're so good. I've got the blush, like the pink ones, which are the most beautiful knitting needles I've ever used in my life. Like, they're so nice and I love them. I love a birchwood needle. I have recently though got the Addy Clicks, which are metal needles and they click in rather than screwing in, which I love that whole mechanism, and I've just actually been really liking using metal needles. My whole knitting journey for the past couple of years, I've always used like birchwood knitting needles. I really like the Addy Clicks. That wasn't part of your question, but I guess Ligay or Chalgu Ligay, because I've not tried Chalgu. But I'm adding in the Addy Clicks in there. Those are my current favorite ones, even though I'm not using them for this project. But Ligay is so nice. Like, they come out with such amazing colors. I really want to get the shorties as well, even though I don't need them because I have the Knit Pro shorties. I just love using a shorty needle. I don't know why. It like fits a lot better in my hand than a normal knitting needle. Like, I have small hands, so I don't know. Ligay all the way. Don't know how to say that properly also, so please, if you know how to say it properly, let me know. I think it's Ligay? I don't know. Do you ever get wrist pain, and if so, how do you deal with it? Love your work. Thank you. All the time. I feel like my wrists are in pain all the time. I like make the joke of, what's that meme? I can't even remember what like cartoon it is when they're like going like this and it's like sounds like a metal like grinding all the time. I feel like that's like my wrists click all the time. We won't be able to hear that, but they click all the time. I mainly get pain in my elbows actually, I think, more than my wrists. I'm really bad at dealing with it. I definitely need to like stretch a bit more. If you are doing a knitting project right now, stretch with me. I like doing these ones, or like these ones for the wrist. That's really nice. Just hold it there for a couple of seconds. I like to take maybe like 2 or 3 days off of knitting once I finish every project. And even within the project, I might take like a day or 2 off just to like give my wrists some time. It's hard sometimes because, you know, I love knitting, so it's hard to make myself stop sometimes, but sometimes it happens naturally. I do have like little wrist like glove things from Amazon. I'm really bad at using them because I lose them all the time, but they have helped in the past. Really just like I massage all the time, like my wrists, and I try and do like elbow things. I don't know, I'm really bad at it, but maybe this is a good reminder for all of us to take more care of our wrists and elbows, just our whole arm joints, because without them we couldn't do the hobbies that we love. Someone asks, will you ever host a knit along for your sweater? I love this question so much. I've actually thought about this. I actually really do want to do a knit along, so it's really nice to know that someone else wants that to happen. Let me know if you're watching this, if you would like that too, because I can definitely organize that. I've never done one before and I think it would be so fun. And it's definitely something I thought of when I first released my pattern. I was like, how fun would it be if we all did a knit along? And I don't know how I would do it. Like if I would just do like live streams on like Instagram or YouTube even, or maybe if I make like a Patreon where like everyone who signs up for the knit along, like maybe you pay for the Patreon, but you get the pattern for free, or something like that. Like, or maybe something's like if you join the knit along, you get the pattern for like 50% off, or something like that. I don't know. I don't have the logistics down, but it's definitely something I have thought of and would love to do. So let me know if you guys have joined knit alongs before, if you've hosted a knit along, how you did it, or how you would like for me to do it, because I'm definitely open to those ideas and suggestions, because it's definitely something I want to do. Watch this space. Maybe we'll do a knit along very soon. Oh my god, and then we can all have really cute matching darling sweaters. Since my test knitters did all their colors, like I've been really wanting to knit the darling sweater again in so many different colors. Like they inspired me so much. I love my test knitters. So I've definitely been wanting to knit the darling sweater again. So I definitely think a knit along is gonna happen at some point. Okay, we have a matcha question. It says, where'd you get your matcha? I'm in Oz and need good matcha recs. Okay, let me tell you, my favorite matcha brand who I've had so many people in the past, like just in my life or like online, ask me where I get my matcha, and I love to answer it because I have one matcha brand that I'm so loyal to, and it is Green Caffeine. They are based, I believe, in Melbourne, and I've been using their matcha for, I think it's been well over a year now, like almost 2 years. I love their matcha, specifically the one that's in the tin. I think it's called the Mastermind, and they were going to take it away, and I was like, and then by popular demand they were like, okay, no, sorry, we're not taking it away, and I was like, yes, thank you. But it is so good. I recommend it to absolutely everyone, and everyone who has tried it has been like, yes, it's so good. It is amazing. They source their matcha from Japan, and they're just an amazing small business. They always give you little stickers in their packages. Okay, they understand the journal girlies, and they have a matcha subscription, which I've had for like over a year, and I just get their matcha delivered to me every so often, and I love them. Okay, check them out. Green Caffeine, so good. We have travel questions. I always love talking about travel. It says, any travel plans this year? Please come to Denmark. We have cool yarn sales. Oh, that's all you needed to say, like say less. Okay, travel plans, yes, I have a ton, which is amazing. Traveling is like my biggest priority in life right now. Like obviously other than my crafting and my content, that's obviously a big priority, but other than that, it's travel. I'm like one of those where I'm unsure if I want kids. I don't know, as I get older, I'm like, do I want kids? I don't know. That's a whole other conversation. But right now my thing is travel, and it's literally what I will spend like all of my savings on. Like all of my money that I make goes towards me going traveling, and it's just my favorite thing. It's like the most fulfilling thing to me, going traveling. So yes, I always have a travel plan. Even if I don't actually have a trip booked, I'm always planning a trip. But this year I am traveling. I'm so lucky to say I'm doing Euro Summer for the third year in a row? I think it's the 4th year in a row. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. It's just like all I want to do is be in Europe, and it's all my life savings goes towards that every year. So yes, I am planning to go to Europe again with my best friend Jasmine, who I went to Paris with 2 years ago. I did like a little solo trip for a couple of weeks, and then she came and joined me and stayed with me for a couple of weeks as well in Paris, and we did London and south of France. That was amazing. And we are planning to do Europe again this year. We're planning September, so not summer, but like I've heard the weather over there is still so beautiful and so warm and still like pretty summery, so I'm very excited. I'm planning to spend a week alone in Paris because the solo trip I did to Paris was like my favorite thing I've done in my whole life. Like that was the most fun I've ever had. I had the best time ever. So I really wanted to do that again. So I'm doing a week alone in Paris, and then she'll join me for another week. And then we still have a lot of planning and booking to do. We haven't fully gotten everything, but our idea right now is Paris, and then London and Edinburgh. I loved Edinburgh. I've only been there for like a day and a half, and I loved it so much that I was like, we have to go again, and she's never been. So Edinburgh, and then Amsterdam. She's never been either. I loved Amsterdam. And then we want to do Italy. I haven't done Italy since I was a kid. Like I've not traveled to Italy as an adult, so I don't really remember it as a kid, and I've been dying to go to Italy, so is she. So we're gonna do like the biggest portion of our trip will probably be Italy, and then we'll be spending roughly a month away, and I'm so excited to go to Italy. Like it's been like pasta is my favorite food in the whole world. So I feel like it's weird that I haven't been to Italy sooner, you know what I mean? So I'm very, very excited. And then I possibly have a trip to Thailand planned after that. Still waiting to confirm that, but I'm on a wait list for a really exciting trip to Thailand. It's a knitting trip. So I'll talk to you guys more about that once that's been confirmed, but that's very exciting. I've been researching so much about Thailand. It looks so beautiful, so I'm really excited about that. A more tropical, I guess, kind of beachier holiday, which will be nice. Yeah, those are my travel plans for this year. I freaking love traveling. Like talking about, I love talking about traveling as much as I love like talking about knitting. Like talking about traveling whilst knitting, that is like my favorite thing. So yeah, I literally I need to be focusing on these charts. Hold on. Okay, no, we're good. Also, yeah, Denmark. I've been to Denmark once and I loved it. I would love to go again. It's definitely, again, I have so many places still on my travel list. Okay, Europe is so big. There's so many places in Europe to go. There's just so many places. I'd love to go to South Africa. I'd love to do, there's so many places to go. Okay, so Denmark is definitely going to happen at some point in my life because I love it. Like the cool yarn stores, of course. I have to go to Denmark. There's so many places to go for cool yarn, and definitely on this trip to Europe, I have already looked up all the yarn stores and all the places I'm going, so don't you worry, there will be yarn buying on this trip. And the last question is, would you ever move to Paris? I've gotten this question before, and I mean, a girl can dream, right? I don't know. I definitely romanticize moving to Paris a lot. You know, if you've watched my channel, Paris is my favorite place in the whole entire world. I would definitely move there one day if, you know, the stars aligned and it could happen. Right now, I mean, I'm happy with my life in Perth. I've built a really beautiful life here. I love it here. It's cozy, it's, you know, but there are definitely times where I am just like, I need to get out of here. It's one of those small towns where you're like, I need to leave one day. I definitely have always romanticized living in Paris. I don't know if it'll happen. There's no plans currently. You know, I have my beautiful, amazing partner and my beautiful, beautiful dog to think about, and all of my friends are here. So I don't really imagine leaving, fully living there right now. I definitely plan to go visit every single year. I want to visit and do a week there alone at somehow or whatever. So I definitely plan to visit a lot in my life, but living there currently, no plan. I think it would be my idea that when I'm 40 or 50, I don't know, I'll spend a year or two in Paris. My partner and I have talked about when we're 50, we'll do 2 years in Europe and just travel around. That would be so cool. But right now when I'm young, I definitely just have lots of plans to travel to Paris as much as I can. And for now I'm good with that. I like going there and then I guess coming back home and coming back to my home cozy life and then being excited to go there again. That's kind of a nice balance that I have. But yeah, Paris is very, very close to my heart. Oh, I love this question. I love talking about Paris. And I'm so excited to go again. Anyway, I've been chatting for so long. I could chat for so much longer. I love chatting about everything with you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed hearing me chat. I think I literally only got 3 rows done. I've been talking for 50 minutes. But it's hard to, you know, focus on the chart and talk to you. But I've had a blast. I love just chatting, all things knitting, all things grandma hobbies, traveling, all that kind of stuff. And oh my God, that's a giant ant, get off. Anyway, I'm trying to make it to the end of my row so I can show you. I mean, there's not gonna be a ton of progress from when I started this video, but here we go, we're getting there. I'm loving these colors I chose. Thank you for sitting and hanging out with me and chatting with me. I honestly feel so much better. Just sitting out in the park, knitting, chatting with you guys. It feels so nice. Let me know if you want me to keep doing these knitting podcasts. Also, we need a name for this. I was thinking something like Cozy Chats with Cass. I don't know if that's too long, or just Cozy Chats, or I did ask ChatGPT about this and I wanted a knitting pun and they said casting on with Cass, or just casting on, or cast on with Cass, or casting on, I don't know. I love a pun, but let me know if that's too lame. I don't know, this was a lot of fun. So let me know if you want me to do more knitting podcasts, what you want me to chat about in the next one. I'll always call for Q&A questions as well on my Instagram, so definitely follow me on there if you want to participate in the next one. And yeah, I hope you guys have an amazing day. If you resonated with any of my thoughts in the beginning of this video, don't be too hard on yourself, be kind to yourself. I believe in you. And yeah, I'm sending you all the crafty knitting vibes. Happy crafting, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.